Welcome, everyone, to the second episode of the Triple Play podcast. We're excited to be back for round two, and we're even more excited to have our very first guest with us this time. We're excited to welcome Jay Richards in with us, another friend from TCU. Jay is a Boston boy, so today's episode is going to be all about the Boston experience. Jay, thanks for being on with us.
I appreciate it. This is an honor. I was going to do this whole podcast with a fake Boston accent, but I'm pretty sick, so that's not going to happen.
No, it's actually kind of disappointing. We can do it when we do our Mark Wahlberg impressions, because I think we just have to.
Yeah.
Jay, you want to give us a little background on yourself?
Oh,
what
boy.
you up to? What you doing?
Right now, I'm in Louisville, Texas, working at Fidelity Investments. I'm a reservist. I'm stationed in Galveston for the Marine Corps. Happy birthday, Marine Corps, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Yes, sir. Man, other than that, Kevin, I know you through TCU baseball and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, I kind of know you through Kevin and Bernie.
Then we all lived together in Brockman.
That's right. Man, that was so long ago. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely glad to have you. So today's episode, like I said, it's the Boston episode. So we're gonna talk Red Sox and Pats.
Wicked Pissa.
Little Mark Wahlberg, and a little bit more on Red Dead Redemption and any new movies that we might have watched. So we'll hop right in. The Red Sox, kind of the most relevant thing, I suppose, right now. I know it's football season, but with the Red Sox having won the World Series not too long ago, was that about 10 days ago or so is when that finished? I figured we start there.
Okay.
So, Jay, with this 2018 team, that sounded weird. I mean, the Red Sox and Boston in general win a ton of championships. Does it? I know it doesn't get boring, but does it ever kind of start maybe losing that magic that like Cubs fans would have had when we won in 2016?
I mean, yeah, I went through the whole thing with the Cubs just did in 2016, in 2004, and then since then it's been dominance. So, anytime you have a season that's, average, it's a big problem. Everyone hates us, so as there's a bunch of different type of New England fans. I'm the one that kind of doesn't say it out loud, but because everyone hates us. But man, it's good to be a New England fan. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. So comparing this team, the 2018 team, to the 2013 team, the other most recent Red Sox championship, how do they compare? Or how are they different? Like, how would you look at those two teams? Like, which one would you say is probably better?
Like talent-wise? Obviously, I think.
However you're describing better.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you remember, Kevin, in 2013 was a hell of a year for us because, the Boston bombing happened.
That's right.
David Ortiz is famous. This is our, I don't know if this is a family show, but this is our fucking city. It meant a lot more than this year probably did.
Mm-hmm.
Best way I can explain it is like Kevin, you had an old truck, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dodge. So that one it's not too good on the road, stats wise, but it means more to you than like a new truck, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of how I'd explain it.
It's a great analogy.
Right. No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. Man, 2013, I think I missed a week of classes. I was just a degenerate alcoholic. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening, but I was in the frat house, so it was a lot.
Those days.
Yeah, those days.
So,
what's up?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. What would you say for this team, this 2018 team, the most important piece? I mean, Mookie Betts obviously a huge player. Has he been officially declared MVP? I only saw Gold Gloves come out, so I haven't seen if MVP's done yet.
I don't think I saw the Slugger Awards came out, right? I should probably know this.
I think so.
I know Mookie and JD won a Silver Slugger.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not sure. He should win it, I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only other person like who's basically in that conversation. I mean, JD Martinez obviously did fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, did he hit 40 plus?
I'm looking at stats right now. I think he did. This is bad radio, but yeah, he hit. This regular season here. Yeah, he had 43, man. Ended up with 43.
Wow. That's nice. He was plus 300, right?
Yep, he batted I think 320 if you count postseason.
That's nuts.
I know, man.
So,
And I can never be more wrong. I tweeted out at the beginning of the season how much I hated him, how it was a stupid transaction, and boy, I've never sounded more dumb in my life.
well, you can't win them all, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, Mookie was just out of this world, and so is JD apparently with those numbers. And then obviously Mike Trout is always in that conversation because I maintain that Mike Trout's the greatest baseball player to have ever played the game.
He is, and I just think he gets a lot of automatic public eye, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the voting goes, I'm not totally sure how that works, but the writers, people that vote love him. And I think he gets a little bit more respect than he should, even though he's elite. But
Right.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I
Adam?
think he's sort of like the J.J. Watt of Major League Baseball. Very high-profile guy, gets a lot of attention, obviously extremely talented, and does a lot of stuff well on the field. But I think he's a little overhyped.
Yeah,
That is
I totally
a take.
agree.
I'm not sure I would agree that he's overhyped. Obviously, I mean, I think he's the best to ever play the game, but I would say J.J. Watt's overhyped.
Yeah, I have a question. What do you guys think is going to happen to Bryce Harper? I just was reading that today.
Oh,
Somebody-
yeah, because he doesn't know where he's going to be.
What? He didn't take the 300 mil extension from from Washington?
He must not have, because, I mean, he's going to be the cover athlete on MLB The Show 19, and he was tweeting out, like, oh, what jersey am I going to be wearing? So he doesn't know where he's going to be.
Interesting. I wonder who can have that cap space.
I think, like, the big players, from what I've heard right now, it's like, the Phillies
Yeah, the
are
Phillies
a
are who
big
I've been
name that
saying.
people are thinking.
Huh.
And then the Cubs are obviously able to pay that kind of money. The Dodgers can probably pay that money. I'm actually not sure if I'm sure the Yankees can pay that money, but I'm not sure if they would want to spend another 350 million on another player.
They're scumbags. They'll be in the mix.
That's true. So, I mean, like, I guess you might call them the Blue Bloods, the rich teams, and the Phillies, I guess, are like the main players right now.
Yeah, Giants too, I think,
Okay.
are in the
Yep.
mix. I don't know if you said that.
I did not say the Giants. I think the Giants are bad right now, and I don't think they're gonna want to spend a lot of money on a superstar. I think they're going through a rebuild. I think. I
They're
could
going
be
bottom
wrong,
up.
but yeah, just because they were not good. They haven't been good these past couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, since they World Series 3 out of 5 times in the 5 years or something.
Yeah,
Kind of
and then
dropped
just-
off.
Yeah, because that core got old. So
Yeah.
it happens. Speaking of
Yeah.
how old is Mookie? He's like 27 or something, isn't he?
I think he's just older than us. I think he's 26, about to be 27. But
That's so stupid.
I'm
I
such
hate
not a
that.
stats guy, so I don't know.
That's all right.
Adam, what happened with your Royals this year?
Uh,
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just curious because I don't follow the AL Central that much.
Okay, so what happened is
I know,
that
sorry.
after the 2015 World Series, we just sort of, we had all of those guys basically on their rookie contracts or relatively small contracts, and we couldn't afford to keep them all. And so over the past couple seasons, we just traded everybody that made up the core of those two World Series teams. So I think I checked the roster. From game one of the World Series, we have, I think, 5 players left on the roster that were on the roster in that game. And most
Wow.
of them are backups.
And Gordo.
Yeah,
right?
Alex Gordon and Salvador Perez, the only 2 starters left. So Hosmer gone, Kane gone,
Now-
Moustakas gone, the entire bullpen gone, most of the starting pitchers gone.
Yeah, Milwaukee basically took the entire 2015
Pretty much,
Royals
pretty
team.
much.
Wow. Do you guys still have the notorious farm league system?
Say that again?
Do you guys still have that notorious farm league system?
Uh,
The one that's
they're pretty bad right now. uh,
No, I thought they made all their trades from their farm league system because they had such good
yeah,
prospects coming
that
up.
was
Is that still not the
that was
case?
the case for a long time in like the early part of this decade. You know, they had the AAA team
Yeah.
Omaha won, you know, the minor league championship like 3 or 4 years in a row, something like that. Um, and
That's big news.
and they basically
Breaking
oh
news.
yeah, but yeah, I mean they basically traded away all of their prospects because Dayton Moore doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm interested. And your Cubs, Kevin. You don't think I'm gonna let this
Oh,
one go
yeah.
by?
Yeah, oh man, that was probably the coldest offense I've seen from the Cubs in like the past like 5 years. Just
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I can think of a few more platitudes. They couldn't hit water if they fell out the side of a boat. Things like that. It was not fun to watch when you see him lead the entire way, and it wasn't like, especially at the end, like the Cubs weren't playing bad, right? They still won like 97 games, but the Brewers just like went on a tear. It's like, well, not a whole lot you can do when Cubs were playing probably like 600 ball through September, and the Brewers lost like 3 games, and you're like, all right, well, that's more them just outplaying everyone than the Cubs like blowing their lead. But then when
Right.
it came to the final game, that play-in game, and then the wild card game, they had like 2 runs in like 26 innings. It's like, well, you're never gonna win a baseball game doing that. So,
Right.
but you still can't be mad at 97 wins or whatever it was, and it's still a young core. I think they have a lot of trade pieces available right now. I think Addison Russell gets dealt in the winter.
Right.
I think the Cubs are done with him, so I think he's a valuable trade piece. And if Yu Darvish can actually pitch more than 3 times in a season, I think that would be a big boost. So
Yeah.
yeah, disappointing with the Cubs because I think with like Boston, you expect right now it's basically like a World Series or it's a failure of a season. So
Perfection, baby.
yeah, that does bring us into a good. The next portion is so we do have 3 of the 4 last World Series teams with Adams Royals in 15, the Cubs in 16, and Red Sox just now in 18. So of
Yeah,
those
baby.
3 teams, those specific teams, so the 15 Royals, 16 Cubs, 18 Red Sox, which team is the best? Like which team would beat the other 2 is basically the question.
Adam, take it away.
I mean, those 3 teams are they're very different, right? I think
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, obviously the Cubs had a ton of stars, starting pitchers. The Royals were built around defense and their bullpen, and then the Red Sox were just sort of an offensive juggernaut, right? So, I mean, it's 3 different styles of baseball. I don't know who I think the best team is, or I don't know who would win if you matched them up against each other. I think if I were leaning objectively, I would probably lean in favor of the Red Sox as being the most talented team, and then the Cubs would be right there behind them. I think the Royals are actually probably the least talented team of those 3. They didn't really have any superstars. They didn't have a Mookie Betts or a Chris Bryant, right? They didn't have any MVP contenders. It was solid fundamental baseball and then a knockout bullpen. I have an interesting stat
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
2015 team. In the 2015 postseason, and this is why I do think the Royals were probably the most exciting team of those 3. And this is my stat on why. The 2015 Royals set a major league record 51 runs scored in the 7th inning or later in the postseason, and they only gave up 6.
Holy
Wow.
cow. That is impressive. Your bullpen in that year, that 2015 bullpen, basically
so scary.
If your starter gave you 6 and you guys had even a 1-run lead, you won the
Yeah,
game.
3 guys in that.
You were able to basically turn it into a 6-inning game, and it was wild.
3 guys in that.
What I remember
bullpen
most
with
about that
0 ERA.
bullpen, you guys beat the Mets, right? In what is it, 5 games? All I remember is that last inning when you guys put up the I think you guys went up 7-2, and that bullpen just stretched it out, and they showed no signs of. I think they gave up like a couple hits after the 9th inning.
Yeah, they were pretty impressive.
You guys had, yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, was that Herrera, Davis, and Holland, right?
Mm-hmm. Although Holland didn't play a whole lot.
That was
Holland got hurt that year. He didn't play a whole lot, so you had Luke Hochevar step in to be the substitute H, and he actually played really well. I've criticized him a lot, but that postseason especially, he along with Davis and Herrera combined, I think, for like 32 innings and a 0 ERA.
Huh. Those are pretty good numbers. And now Herrera, Holland, and Davis are all top-tier closers in different teams now, right?
Every single one of those guys is gone. Davis is gone. Herrera's gone. Holland's gone. Hochevar's gone. There's not a single person
I really
left
liked
from that
having
bullpen.
Wade Davis with the Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, so Kevin, who do you think?
Yeah. Oh, it's tough. It's tempting to say the Royals, but their bullpen was so good, but their offense just not able to put up numbers like in a way that you would like. I mean,
Until the
obviously
7th inning.
they put up enough numbers to win a World Series.
Right.
But I think I probably have to lean with the Red Sox. I think, just because when you come out in Game 1 of the World Series and put a 3 spot up on Clayton Kershaw immediately, like that is just so dangerous and so scary as an opposing team. It's I looked at that matchup and I was like, there's no hope for the Dodgers, right? And the Indians had a definite hope of beating the Cubs in 16. So I would probably lean the Red Sox as far as overall. I think I think maybe in a playoff game I take the Cubs, but in a wild card game I take the Cubs, but in a full 7-game series I probably go with the Red Sox.
All right. I would also go with the Red Sox. I'm assuming everyone's playing like a video game, playing at their full potential. I think Red Sox have the talent. I think the Cubs had the gods, the angels looking over them. I mean, that was inevitable, which is scary for its own thing. I think Kansas City. I think any of these teams would make it to 6 or 7 head-to-head. And it's kind of a coin flip, but I do have to take the Sox for fanhood and just statistically speaking here. Because, that team was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. So
yeah.
Nothing wrong with going with your hometown team, because I do think they probably were the better team. So, in breaking news, Horned Frogs are leading the Mountaineers after 3-0.
Oh,
so
very nice.
We are recording live during the Frog game for those listening. So, all right. So that was Boston baseball. I guess we all agree that this Red Sox team was an absolute unit, and probably a very, very good team. Probably go down as one of the best teams that people have ever seen in their lifetimes, just because the team was a load.
Probably the best I'll ever see in my lifetime as a fan.
Yeah, probably. Just because eventually you can't afford to keep all these star players. So that's the big thing about professional sports is when you get good, then you get paid a lot, and then when you get paid a lot, you can't have lots of good players. Anywho.
Yep.
So now we'll move on to the Pats, because we're good at transitions on this podcast. So talking Pats, the Brady Belichick legacy. First, how much longer do you think you guys get with Brady and Belichick, Jay?
Oof. I'd say the end of this year, and then I think next year after game 6 or 7, Brady's starting throwing picks. He's starting to get hit, starting to look slow. I think the discussion happens, and he plays out the rest of the year. And I think in I don't know what year. What would that be? 2020. He's officially kicked out.
Okay.
That's just my best guess. That's probably what everyone says, but I just, I think eventually the pieces will fall here.
Right.
I don't want to sound like a downer. I'm just trying to be realistic. I don't. I mean, I hope it goes on forever. And Brady, what he's done already at age 41, 42, is unbelievable.
For sure. Do you think
but-
Belichick leaves at the same time?
He's old too, man. I don't think so. I think he stays for a little bit longer. I think Kraft loves him too much, and I don't think there's really, the coaching market out there for available coaches is kind of sketchy. So
That's true. I mean,
think
when
they'll
you got
hold
a
on
good
to
one,
him.
you got to keep them.
Exactly. And if Patriots start having losing seasons, I think we're going to be a little bit more resistant to call for a change just because of Belichick's history with us, which could be our downfall too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you get too stuck in the old ways, but when was the last time Bill Belichick had a losing season? Was it ever?
He came from
Well, the last time he had a losing season with the Pats.
with the Pats. Oh, it's got to be. What year did Brady go down? Was it
Was that
2010?
10?
Something like that. I think they even went 500.
Let's find out. We have Google.
We do have the Google, but man, I can't remember last time that happened. Which is
Oh,
wild.
it must be nice.
It is nice, but hey, your Bears are pretty good, man.
Dude, Bears are back. It's wild.
It's pretty wild, but
2000.
Yeah, so I was just looking at these stats. So
2000 was the only year
2000?
Belichick had a losing season with the Pats. They were 5-11,
oh
and they
my,
won a Super Bowl the next
my
year,
God.
and then won 3 out of the next 4.
That's so stupid.
wow.
They've won at least
Uh,
10 games
yeah,
every
Tom-
season
yeah.
since.
That is
I
scary.
have in 2002 they won 9.
yes.
They went
Sorry,
9 and
scratch
7
that.
in
I didn't see that
2002.
2002 team.
Oh, what a bad year that was, huh?
Yeah, you bums. Yep, and then 14, 14, 10, 12, 16, 11, 10, 14, 13, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 14, 13.
Yeah, what's up?
hate that.
Everyone hates us. Everyone's gonna hate this podcast. Like, oh, Red Sox and the Patriots. Screw this guy.
Yeah, only one season
but,
with 16 wins though. What are you guys, scrubs?
Yeah, but losing
Yeah,
to imagine losing to Eli twice in the Super Bowl though. I mean, that hurts. No matter how good we are, like that hurts.
Yeah, that's a stain on the legacy.
Oh man, it's the worst. And
Yeah, I'm not even sure he can see like straight. I think is he permanently cross-eyed? I think he is.
he needs a helmet off the field, man. There's something up with him.
Yeah, he's still gonna be a Hall of Famer though, and that's wild.
I bet he quits. I bet he gets sacked like 4 or 5 times.
He's like, screw this,
on
I'm done.
He's I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, I think Saquon has reinvigorated Eli Manning a little bit. Got that young buck running around with him.
He's gonna. I don't know, man. He looks terrible. But
Well,
I was
Saquon's
just
real
looking.
good.
So back to the Patriots real quick because everyone loves
Yeah,
them.
sorry.
17 years with 15 division titles, 5 wins and 8 appearances in the Super Bowl. Brady, of course, holds every playoff record worth having behind Joe Montana and Peyton. And I want to talk about every time. It's like the LeBron MJ argument: who's better, Brady or Belichick? Who's more important to the team? I wanted to see what you guys kind of thought on that from an outside perspective.
Oh, you're gonna have to repeat that question. My headphone fell out and I missed
Nice.
everything you just said.
So
Something about Brady and Belichick. Who's
So,
better,
yeah,
who's
the-
more important?
the MJ LeBron argument of football to me is who's more important to this dynasty? Is it Brady or Belichick?
Ooh,
I think it's
I have an answer, but I don't want to sway your opinions.
let's see. Who's more
I
important?
think it's difficult to say, right? Because how
Uh,
many seasons has Belichick had without Brady? Just the one, right? His one losing season was without Brady, and then
Right.
like the half season when he got hurt, whenever that was.
Right.
Right. So yeah,
It's
That's one
definitely an
thing where
impossible question,
they're-
but
they're
people love
basically-
arguing about it.
yeah, they're basically one and the same. I mean, the question is, do you have Tom Brady without Bill Belichick? I think becomes the question on how you answer that. Like,
Yeah, so I think
if Tom Brady played for the Bills instead of the Pats, are the Bills winning 12 games every year, or are they still the Bills?
Smashing table Bills.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
they win more.
Adam, what
Would
do
they
you
snatch
think?
as many tables if they were winning?
Say again.
I think obviously they're going to win more with Brady, but I mean, you need a supporting cast, and you still need a good offensive coach behind you to be able to put up numbers. It's a
Right.
quarterback can't do it by themselves, no matter how good they are. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay, right? Green Bay is not very strong this year, despite how much Rodgers
Ooh.
tries to hold them along. So, I
Right.
think.
Ooh, Adam, look at that transition.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, keep going. Keep going. And we'll get to the transition later.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you told me to pick one right now, like to have at the beginning of their career, I think I would pick Belichick.
Okay.
Okay,
Kevin?
that's fair. Um, yeah, I think the head coach plays such a bigger role in the overall performance of the team that I think having a legit head coach like that I think makes a bigger difference because we see like the team that the Bears have isn't that much different from what they had last year, but it's a new head coach and they look revitalized, right? It's still Mitch Trubisky behind center, but now it's Matt Nagy instead of, oh God, I can't even remember who our coach was last year. So I think it makes a difference with the coach. Obviously, having a Hall of Fame quarterback makes it easier to win, but I think the head coach plays a bigger role in the overall team performance as opposed to like the quarterback just on offense. So
All right. Yeah, keep it short. I definitely agree. People always give me crap about, Brady wouldn't be anything without Belichick, and I think that's kind of true. I don't think he wouldn't be anybody. He'd still be top 5 quarterback, maybe top 3. Actually, definitely top 3. But I don't think his stats, his eliteness would be without Belichick, and I think that's commonly accepted across the board. But
yeah,
I'm so tired of hearing that. Like as a negative thing, it's like why do I have to argue this? They're together like that. They're a unit.
yeah,
They're a juggernaut. Like move on.
yeah. So speaking of fantastic transitions from Adam, a better LeBron versus MJ debate
Mm.
would be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Or Adam also put in Drew Brees into that
I think
conversation.
people always forget about
But,
Drew Brees when they have that conversation. So I just wanted to throw him in
Oh,
there.
Yeah,
are we talking about the calendar year 2018? Or are we talking overall careers?
Probably overall. If you were to get one at their prime, basically, let's go with that.
Got it.
Like you
Got
could
it.
build like it. They're young enough you can build around them. So, who you take?
Franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
All right.
And so for me, I think that the discussion we just had about Belichick and Brady is huge. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers does incredible things, and he has Bupkis to work with. Like, he doesn't have anyone like really worth anything on that offense besides himself, and he makes them win football games. Like he kind of feels like the LeBron last year, where he's like dragging this team, kicking and screaming into winning. Like, I mean, we see like now, like LeBron left the Cavs and now they're terrible. And I think if Aaron Rodgers
So
left
bad.
the Green Bay Packers, they might win maybe like 2 games if they were lucky. So
Yeah,
I
I'd have
think
to agree
Aaron
with you.
Rodgers probably is the most individually talented. I think a lot of Brady's success comes from the system he's in and the players he's had to work with. So I would probably go with Rodgers. Breeze, I mean, he's down there and he throws for 6 million yards a season. So Breeze is definitely up there, but he's short. Can't have short people at quarterback. Everyone knows that, Adam.
All right, on behalf of short people, I'm gonna have to jump in. I think I would agree with you.
No, go
I would
ahead,
agree
Adam.
with you and say that I think Rodgers is definitely the most physically talented. Now, whether that makes him the most talented overall, I think is a different discussion, right? Because there's also, I mean, I would think Brady is probably near the top, if not the top, when it comes to the mental side of the game. And then I think Breeze is just solid across the board, and so that's why I think this is such a difficult discussion because they all do different things well. As to the question of who I would take in their prime right now, part of me just wants to be a contrarian and say Drew Brees. No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say Brees. Final answer. I'm locking it in
Yeah.
because I don't think
Locking it in.
I'm locking it in. He never gets the respect that I think he deserves, and so this is me throwing in my lot with Drew Brees, saying Drew Brees, you're the man. I'm jumping in with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's some merit to that, isn't he? He's the MVP candidate, top candidate for this year. I mean, the dude is amazing.
Yeah, he's off the
and,
walls.
And he's had just as long of a career as the other guys, so I think that's a damn good pick. You already know my pick.
Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, what were we going to say, Adam?
What is he? He leads the NFL in career passing yards now, right? Broke that a few games ago.
Yeah,
I think he
passed
at least.
Brett
As to
Favre.
the MVP race,
Wow.
I think you throw Patrick Mahomes and Todd Gurley in there as well. But yeah, he's definitely top 3 for sure.
Okay. Let's take it easy there. Although, hey, I want to talk about that Kansas City Pats game. Well, that was a shootout, eh?
It was. That was
was awesome.
We get to see
That
it
was
again
awesome.
in the playoffs. And I was being completely
probably will.
serious. I'm sounding like a homer with Mahomes, but I'm being completely serious. I think right now, he's leading the race. He has 29 touchdowns.
Oh, for
through
sure.
His first 9 games. So, man, leads the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah, if he keeps pace, if he keeps on his current pace, he'll finish with 52 touchdowns and 5,200 yards.
So I think it's his to lose,
just
even
gross.
though personally I would probably vote for Gurley because I think Gurley's doing insane things. But
yeah,
It'll be interesting.
I mean, when was the last time a non-quarterback won MVP? I mean, goodness gracious, they always give it to quarterbacks.
it's quarterbacks or running backs. But yeah. I think there have only been like 2 or 3 non-quarterback, non-running backs to ever win MVP, and one of them was a kicker. You can fact check me on that, but I'm fairly
kicker
certain
won
that a
MVP?
kicker won the MVP in like the 70s. Hold on, keep talking. I'm looking it up.
That's such a 70s move if a kicker won. I bet he's from like the Ivy League too, something weird.
Let's see.
But while you guys are searching that, I'm going to tell you I wouldn't change a single thing. I think putting Brady on the Patriots, I think we saw, a fantasy scenario come to life. I think that's the best you can do. If you put Breeze or Rodgers in there, I still don't think they do as well. His pocket presence, everything else, I think is, or at least was, slightly better than everyone else in the league. Throwing to slants, knowing the system, I just think he played it out perfectly.
Yep.
Tom Brady.
Real quick,
So handsome.
1982,
Yep,
Mark Mosley with the Washington Redskins, place kicker.
That was during the NFL strike year, so it was a shortened season, and not a lot of guys played. But yeah,
And the last so 2012, Adrian Peterson won MVP. And then it was Manning, Rodgers, Newton, Ryan, Brady. Oh, that doesn't look right. Those aren't
Didn't-
numbers.
Didn't J.J. Watt almost win?
Yeah.
he was a finalist.
I think was that 16. I think.
That would have been wild.
Yeah. Let's see. The last defensive player was in 1986. Lawrence Taylor won MVP.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Huh.
So there you go.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah. So. Let me get my little sheet of what we're talking about. We talked about Pats Chiefs a little bit there. Hope that would be really fun. Hopefully AFC Championship game.
seems like it
so-
happens every year.
Yep. And then the winner of that game gets to be beat by the Rams.
Well, hold on now.
The Rams, yeah.
Yeah.
Saints are pretty good.
Well, the Rams have been my pick since the start of the year to win the Super Bowl. So.
What are you going to
So
say,
I'm
Adam?
Stick with
No,
that.
I was just gonna say I think their secondary is looking pretty rough here recently. So I don't know. We'll see down the stretch how the Rams hold up, but I think they're gonna get torn up by some pass-heavy offenses before the year's over.
Okay.
It's true. They are definitely beatable, but I mean, like we said, that offense is such a weapon that you have to be able to put up points in order to keep up with them. And obviously, whatever team they likely face in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl will be able to put up points.
I mean, I think all of the
Right.
4 teams that we think could make it to the Super Bowl are the offensive juggernauts, right? Like Pats, Chiefs, Saints, Rams are all averaging like 35, 36 points a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, I
Unfortunately,
wouldn't
my
sleep
other
on the Steelers either, man.
That's true.
I wouldn't put my money on them, but they've won what 5, 6 in a row,
Yeah,
and
no, Steelers are looking great.
fucking
pick- Yeah. Do you know how
Roethlisber-
disappointed it was to go up against Roethlisberger this week in fantasy?
oh man, he was slinging touchdowns all over the place like
I
it was
know.
nothing. His
It was
fat face, I hate
stupid.
him. Stupid monster. But he, I saw him take off. It was like a broken play, and he took off and got about 15 yards, and looked like he was hustling. The one where he got a targeting call.
Okay. I don't think
he was
Ben Roethlisberger has hustled since he was like 18.
right. I was like, oh boy, this isn't good. He's slinging touchdown passes and looking fast. This sucks.
Looking fast. The one thing Tom Brady has never done in his career is look fast.
I'll fight you, Kevin.
You know it's true. What was his 40 time at the combine like?
Oh
8.2?
man, that's the best video ever. It's just his milk bag body, doughy ass, running so slow. Oh my god.
He did his best.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he's like top 5
Now-
in quarterbacks for rushing touchdowns, though, because he always gets those quarterback sneaks at the goal line.
Yeah, that little Brady sneak.
mm-hmm.
I don't
Makes me
understand
nervous
why more
every
teams
time.
don't do it though. Like, you got a half a yard to go, just like plunge in there and just like figure it out. Tom Brady does
It's
it.
the
and-
most. It's the
know,
least
they're
graceful
protecting the
looking
quarterback.
thing. He just jumps over holding that ball out. Gets about 3
I
inches
don't know how
off
you
the
can
ground.
say they're trying to protect their quarterback. Tom Brady's been playing for 27 years.
Well, no, I'm saying other teams, because they don't do that, they're afraid. This is me speculating. I don't really know, but I mean, it's a risky play if you think about it. I think the Pats just do it well.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like a nervous mother watching his middle schooler play football every time he does it. Oh no! Get up!
Yeah. Oh man, making fun of Tom Brady's lack of athleticism, while him being one of the most successful athletes is peak. It feels like peak 2018.
He's got to be.
Can I tell you how I love Brady? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, he's got to be on the list of least athletic, best athletes, of all time.
Yeah. Yep. Him and
Even like Phil Mickelson and
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon,
oh yeah, there you go.
right?
Shaq.
Big sexy.
Shaq was an athlete. He was just kind of slow, but he was an athlete.
Yeah, that's fair.
Any
Like,
any
you
of
look-
those
you look-
videos?
Like if
The-
if you just saw Tom Brady, you wouldn't look at him and be like, "Yeah, I bet that guy is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play."
I don't know. He's pretty damn handsome.
I mean, that counts for a lot.
He's really good looking. I have UGG slippers, unfortunately, because I love Tom Brady so much.
I knew it. I knew you did, you weirdo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yo, but can I tell you how hard it is to defend him off the field antics? When he kissed his kid, I think I turned off my phone and didn't make eye contact with anybody. I was like, ah man, this sucks. Like
I was like, "Oh, there's a meme." Damn.
your supermodel wife probably puts this weird behavior up. I was like, God, Tom, don't do that.
Isn't it weird that Tom Brady is not like the primary breadwinner in his family? Because Giselle makes so much more money than he does.
Tom Brady has the best life in the world.
He does. I would
best
instantly trade with him.
The best life.
Yeah.
But-
10 out of 10 would be Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Keeping
What's
with our Boston themes, we do talk about movies on this podcast, so we need to talk about the best Mark Wahlberg movie, and we need to decide, I suppose, whether it's a movie with Mark Wahlberg or a movie starring Mark Wahlberg. So what do you guys want to do?
I mean, that changes my answer depending on what we decide on.
I know it does,
So let's.
and I think I know what your two answers
okay, well,
are.
Let's do both. We'll start
If we
with,
go with-
just movie with Mark Wahlberg in it, and then we can move on from there.
All right, movie with Mark Wahlberg. Adam, go
So
ahead.
my answer for that would be The Departed.
Yep. Yeah, I figured it would be.
Me too. All
Yep,
right.
Same.
So
right,
let's all pick our second if we unanimously decide that.
Okay,
All right. Now I need to go look at more movies with Mark
the
Wahlberg.
movie starring Mark Wahlberg.
I mean, The Departed is the best.
Yeah, obviously, The Departed is the best movie. I mean, IMDb has an 8.5 for it, and it's a loaded, absolutely loaded cast.
It's unbelievable.
So, all right. So The
Such
Departed
bad
is
Boston
best movie.
accents, though. I want that to be known.
Fair enough. Let's see what else we got. So I would say my favorite movie starring Mark Wahlberg. Um, I guess it could be a toss up between what is it, the Fighter? There it is, and Two Guns. Just because I thought Two Guns was like a super funny movie.
Two Guns was good.
I mean, I
Have you the other guys is pretty good too. Stupid
Yeah.
humor, but it's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm just
Good
not
picks.
a fan of Will Ferrell, like at all.
I kind of get that.
Let's see, Adam, what do you think?
mean, I love The Fighter. I loved the other guys. He was in The Italian Job as well, which is another one of my favorites.
Oh, good one. I didn't even think about that.
Me
For the
either.
purposes of this, Patriots Day is another good one. The Boston Marathon movie that came out a couple years ago.
I'm glad you
Okay.
said
About
that. I love Patriots Day.
And I was gonna pick The Fighter, but then Kevin
Ted?
took it, so I can't take it. I'm gonna say Italian Job.
Italian Job, sure.
Good one. Well,
All right.
Departed for me.
Yep.
And I want it to be known. I don't think his movies are like Oscar winning. But they're just entertaining, and
Mhm.
he's awesome. He's from Boston. He does so much for the city. Love the guy. The Departed #1 for me. If we're going comedy, Ted is the best.
Yep.
And then if we're going way back in the day, one of my favorite movies of all time is his first one. I think is Perfect Storm. That's a really good movie. And then I love the show Entourage, and that's about his life. So I'm gonna have to put that as an honorable mention.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Boys, I watched. Have you seen Deepwater Horizon the other day?
I have not
That's
seen
a
it.
oil
I've
rig
never seen
movie?
trailers for it.
Yeah.
No, I have not. But
It's not horrible. It's very entertaining, worth the watch. And then I know he just came out with a movie called Mile 22, which looked like a.
I heard that was
shoot 'em up
actual,
to-
like terrible, like actually terrible.
Oh, was it? Damn. That
Yeah, I
sucks.
got roasted.
Damn. All right. Well,
Let's see.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
6.1 on IMDb, and yeah, the internet was not a fan.
yeah.
But what does the internet know?
Yeah, exactly. It's the Wild West. How about your least favorite Mackie Mac movies?
Oh, my least favorite Mark. Oh, jeez, there.
Transformers.
Yep, Transformers.
Yeah. All right. Daddy's Home 1 and 2.
Oh, really? You didn't like either of those?
Dude, it's just garbage humor. I mean, it's funny if you have kids, I guess, but oh my God, as a
Yeah.
grown man, I was like, this is just embarrassing.
That's fair. I think Pain and Gain is also another terrible movie with Mark Wahlberg.
I felt like I was watching gay porn.
When watching Pain and Gain?
Pain and Gain. It was just dudes working out, greased up. I was like, all right, this is a little weird.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
I mean,
Kind of want to
both
do
of those
steroids
are
though
bad
after
movies,
watching
but I think none of them even touch the amount of awfulness that Transformers: Age of Extinction was.
Yeah.
Like the robot
That
dinosaurs.
movie
it. That was
real
so garbage.
Like you just like see like the blatant pandering from Michael Bay, terrible writing, just awful.
Like it legitimately
and like
hurt
that
my
was,
eyes
there was
to
like
watch.
there was like that weird thing where like he like the boyfriend of his daughter like is like, oh, it's not rape or something, it's not statutory like assault, or and he like pulled out like the Romeo and Juliet law thing, and then it's like, this is a plot line we did not need to go
I
down.
don't know, I've
Yeah.
purged that movie.
Boys,
from
I forgot to
my
mention,
memory.
yeah, you have to. I blacked out. My favorite movie with Marky Mark in it, and I'll watch it every single time I see it on TV, is Shooter. Have you seen Shooter?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah. That's yeah.
I can't not watch it whenever I see it. That's my new pick. Lone Survivor, good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
He's in so many movies, it's gross.
Apparently he was in Boogie Nights.
I've never seen Boogie Nights.
I don't think I have either. No, but Mark Wahlberg, Julianne Moore, Burt Reynolds, Don Cheadle, John C. Reilly, William H. Macy, and Heather Graham. That's a cast.
That is a cast.
All right, Jay, I have an important question for
So-
you.
What's up?
On behalf of the city of Boston, I'm I'm going to ask you to make this decision. All right. Mark Wahlberg,
Okay.
This is gonna be
Matt
good.
Damon, and Ben Affleck are all drowning, and you can only save one of them. Who do you save?
Mark Wahlberg, Ben Affleck, and who?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Oh, I'd hold Matt Damon underwater. Guy's a. I hate that guy. He sucks. And it's not just like his. I'm not his political stance or anything. I just don't like the dude. He's weird. He sucks. His
Fair.
Boston. He's from Boston. How's your accent so crappy in The Departed? It's all I can think about when I see that movie now. Ben Affleck. He's made. The Town is great. But he's also been in too many movies not to forget. So, I'd have to save Mark Wahlberg.
That's fair. Plus, Mark Wahlberg has a restaurant, and neither the other two do. So.
Yeah, the Wahlburgers or something.
Oh yeah.
I
Hold
think.
on.
What's up?
The frogs just did something. Let's see what it is.
I'm too poor for cable, so I my buff stream. If the FBI is listening, I'm not doing this, but I tried to find like an illegal stream on here,
Aha.
and it's crapped out on me. What happened with the Frogs game?
It looks like Ishihaku got a pick. So that's good.
What was the score update?
I think it's still 3. It's 3-3. So
Sick.
absolute barn burner, like everyone was expecting. Yeah. So 3-3. Frogs just got the ball back. Yeah, it's looking good. It's under review. About halfway through the second. Okay.
Okay.
So go Frogs.
Go Frogs,
Anywho,
baby.
So we saved Mark Wahlberg. Now, what else were you saying about that before I rudely interrupted you about the Frogs?
No, you're good. I'd save Mark Wahlberg. He's a little bit more Hollywood than Ben Affleck is. I think Ben Affleck's more of a heart-to-heart Boston guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna have to pick Mark Wahlberg. Ben Affleck's been terrible.
That's
Have you seen his Phoenix tattoo as well?
No.
Oh man, do me a favor, listeners, and you guys. If you Google his horrible back tattoo, it's laughable. So you can't save it. You can't save a guy like that.
That's Ben Affleck's back tattoo. Back tattoo.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you just type in tattoo, it's the first thing that comes up.
Wow.
It's horrible, dude.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
something else.
Oh dear. What kind? Who? That is awful.
Like, is he trying
is
out
not
for
good.
the Yakuza? What is happening here?
Oh, I hope so. That's just bad.
It's
But,
like a lot of white space, like for such a large tattoo. Like, I feel like you need to fill in the rest of it with something, and it would look better.
Yeah, I mean the worst part was he said he got it when he was sober. So like,
Well, now
Oof.
he has no excuse. Well, I don't think you could sit still long enough drunk to do that tattoo.
true, woof. But
Yeah. I
so
think you
moving
might
forward,
have-
I got a few
Yeah.
questions for you guys. I'm sure the listeners want to hear. What is the podcast? I like the first one a lot. Triple play is a good thing. I know we still have to talk about video games, but like, what is your what are you doing moving forward here?
That's a good question. I think we just kind of, I think for Adam might have a different answer, but I think we just kind of started it. We've been talking about it forever, and so we finally got down to it. And if something comes from it, that's fantastic. We have excellent spots where we can put in ads if anyone wants to give us money to talk about their product. So throw that
Actually,
out there.
I did get a call from Sam Adams Boston Lager. This is the official podcast. We are now sponsored by Sam Adams Boston Lager.
All
Go out
right.
and get some.
Drink Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's delicious and it's from Boston, so there you go.
Exactly.
But it's,
Drink-
I mean,
Drink 3 and you feel real sick.
Adam, what do you think? What are we trying to do with this? Are we just having fun?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was always the plan all along. I mean, Kevin's been bugging me about this for like 4 or 5 years now. And so, yeah, we just one day decided to finally sit down and do it. I think it's mostly just for us, for our entertainment, but if other people enjoy it too, that's great.
Yeah, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw. I checked before we started recording this one that it had 29 views on YouTube for where
Holy
we
smokes.
posted it. So, look out. Pardon my take. We're coming for you.
Yeah, for real. Well, Good on you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. So has anyone watched any new movies? Not like new movies, but like movies they haven't seen before, like first time watches.
Well,
'Cause I watched 3 new movies this week.
which ones? Go ahead.
So I watched I snapped you one of them, Goon, Last of the Enforcers. So the sequel to Goon on Netflix,
Great one.
which it's such a guilty pleasure movie because it
Mhm.
stars I can't even think the actor's name, but the guy who played Stifler in the original American Pie.
Yep,
So it
yep.
stars him, and basically he's a guy who got signed to play for a hockey team with having no hockey experience. He just is really good at fighting. And so his job is to be the enforcer, to be the goon of the team. And it's really funny. I think he does a good job of being an endearing character. Um, I enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure movie. It's not good by any stretch of the means, but I think it's
But
worth
if-
a watch.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Even if you follow hockey remotely and you understand what an enforcer is, it's hysterical.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just like saw it. I saw the first one just like randomly like in my queue on Netflix a couple years back, and I was like, I guess I'll watch it.
Absolutely.
And then there was a Netflix original movie called Amateur, which was about like this 8th grade basketball phenom who was getting paid to play at some like prep school and gets caught, and then like dealing with like the greed and corruption of amateur sports. It was interesting.
That is
um,
interesting.
Trying to think of, you ever see Stomp the Yard? You ever see that movie?
Stomped. Is that with what's his face?
Well, Columbus Short is the star, and Chris Brown's in it, but he dies. Spoiler
Oh.
alert.
No, I'm thinking of another movie. No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, well, the leader of the fraternity is in that movie, and I'm trying to think of who else is in it. Yeah, no one else really that's like popular. But
What's
it
your
was-
other movie?
Yeah, the final one was it was called The Challenger. It was a boxing movie, so I watched all 3 sports. Watched 3 sports movies. It was
Wow.
called The Challenger. It's starred by Kent Moran, who also directed it. But the reason I watched it was because it came out in 2015, but it also starred Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
So I was like, well, gotta watch this. So
Absolutely.
I mean, it was nice to see another movie with Michael Clark Duncan. So yeah, and
Absolutely.
another like not great movie. It would have been better suited, I think, had the main a little bit of a spoiler. It was basically like Rocky, kind of is what it felt like. But it would have been better if it would have been more like Rocky 1 instead of Rocky 2, and he lost, I think. But he wins.
Alright.
It's a classic tale. So
I'm writing all these down. I need some suggestions, so this is
but
good.
yeah. So I
Adam,
watched
what do you
those
got?
3 movies. Adam.
Adam.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. I zoned out for a second. No, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen anything new recently. I'm going to see Bohemian Rhapsody this afternoon, so I'll update you guys on that.
Yeah, I need to
Ooh.
see that. I think I'm gonna try and see that Monday.
But
I keep
Okay.
saying I'm gonna try and see these movies and never do.
I mean, the only thing new that I've watched recently, not a movie but a series, I binged through. What is it? The Haunting at Hill House on Netflix, which I know Kevin, you.
How good is that? How good is
It
that
was,
show?
It was very good. I know Kevin hates scary things, so he will never watch it. But
Yeah, I'm literally never going to watch that ever.
no, it was.
Oh, put your thumb in your mouth and watch it, you big baby. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was very good. Highly enjoyable.
Fight me, all right?
Yeah, it's I think it's good acting. It's not like cheesy scary. It's like legitimate. It's like watching 10 little scary movies.
Yeah, I mean I think the first half of the season,
Yep.
especially when everything is still sort of a mystery, I think that it builds
Yep.
suspense really well. Like you said, the writing is much better than you would expect from a horror show. Yeah, it was
Right.
solid all around.
Yep. I watched it alone in my apartment. I don't recommend that strategy.
Yeah.
But the episode Bent Neck
Oh,
Lady
yeah.
or something really got
Yeah,
to me.
that's-
That was
that's
scary
a
as
tough
hell.
one. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think any concept of horror that happens to you like while you're asleep or while you're laying in bed, because I usually watch that stuff while laying
Yeah.
in bed, which again, not a strategy for success, but Yeah, I mean that stuff gets me more than anything else. The sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
stuff.
Kevin's definitely not gonna watch that.
Yeah, you guys have done nothing to make me want to watch this show.
Yeah, Kevin, it's
absolutely
sick,
nothing.
dude. It's real sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard pass on my part. I think the last I think I haven't watched like a scary movie since like 2012 when like the Paranormal Activity came out or whatever. I think that was the last scary movie I watched. Just because I looked at him and I was like, I don't need that in my life. Like the world's scary enough as it is. I don't need to intensify it.
You just need to start with something like only moderately scary, and then build up your tolerance, right? And just work your way up.
Yeah,
it's like spicy food.
Well, I don't do roller coasters, so I can kind of side with you, Kevin.
You don't do what don't you like about roller coasters?
What's to like about them? I think people that skydive are psychopaths. Why would you do that to yourself? Like,
so you're not gonna jump out of a plane with me at any time?
No, I drive on the highways here in DFW. That's scary enough for me, man. Like, I don't need any more.
That's fair. There's psychos here.
Yeah, like why would I want some 65-year-old woman throwing up on me in a roller coaster? I don't want that.
That's fair. I love roller coasters. I will say the scariest ride I've ever been on, I was at Six Flags up in Massachusetts. The one I think it's like near Springfield, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly where it is. But I went on like that big like swing set thing that they got that just like spins in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Scariest ride I've ever been on. Because you're so high in the air and like you look up to see what's attaching you and it's just like the chain link and like one extra bar and you're like, this is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, no.
And like it'd be fine if you stayed static, but then you start like spinning in your chair as you're spinning and you're like, this I can't do this.
Yeah, no. I'm really good at holding like purses and cell phones while you guys go do the rides.
Oh, that's a skill. You had that on your resume?
No, I should though. You're right. But
build it up.
Yeah, so back to the movies thing. I binge watched the Sicario movies.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen them. The second one, it got a lot of hate. I actually enjoyed it. I think the only hate was like it was too similar to the first one. But I love what's his name, Del Toro guy. I think he's great. Josh Brolin. Whoops, lost my headphone. Josh Brolin's in it.
Okay. Yeah. I remember seeing it, and it wasn't. It's not like called like Sicario 2 or anything. It's like a totally different name. You kind of have to put together that it's like a follow up to the first Sicario movie, don't you?
It's called Sicario Day of the Soldado. I'm uncultured white American. I don't really know how to say it.
We need Brady.
Yeah, right. I got a bone to pick with you guys about the last podcast talking about Travis Kelce and Gronk. You think I'm gonna let that go before the end of this podcast? You guys are insane. And like one of you was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take a healthy Kelce over a healthy Gronk." I was like, "You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind."
Well, I think the big thing is that Gronk can't stay healthy.
That would the best, right? Availability is key. The best ability.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And that's the only knock on him, though. And I think half the time, if he's even somewhat hurt, they rest him for the postseason. And I think that's a compliment in its own. But for you to speak in my headphones last week about Kelce being better than Gronk, I wanted to strangle
would you agree that
both
has
of you.
Gronk been healthy for the most part this season?
No, he hasn't. You know the answer to that.
No. It was so depressing sounding.
Okay.
No, he hasn't.
And again, I think look at them on a skill by skill basis. I think Travis Kelce is faster and he's more athletic. I think they're probably even in terms of route running and catching ability. And then Gronk is bigger.
Disagree.
All right, make your case.
You said state my case?
Yeah, you got to put up or shut up here, man.
Boys, look at the stats. Look at his hands. Look at his speed. No one can tackle him. It's a boy among men.
Stats. Kelce has
trying to tackle a racehorse
seasons in a row.
I'm not saying Kelsey's bad. He's not, and he's definitely a very close second, but he's a second. I think him and Brady just match up. He takes more defenders off of other wide receivers that Kelce probably doesn't do as much. I don't know. I haven't really seen Kelce too much, so I can't knock him. But Gronk, he's my boy. He's like my drunk older brother. So I'll fight anybody.
Let's see. In Gronk's career, he has played 2 full seasons. But he might have 4. He might have been like when they rest starters in the final game. So he might not have played in 14-15 in the final game. But beyond that, his first 2 seasons is the only time he's played 16 full games.
But how many tight ends play every single game of every
Travis
season?
Kelley hasn't missed a start in his entire career.
Oh, there you
Damn
go.
it. Look at you with your facts, you nerd. I'm just messing with you. I just, I'm a homer, so I have to fight anybody that talks about Gronk.
That's fair. That's reasonable. West Virginia's about to score, by the way. I missed a score, so they're about to go up 17-3.
Sick. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And it took all of 3 game time minutes.
Yep.
So
That's like the least
good.
shocking news.
all right, we'll quickly talk video games because we're coming up on an hour. It looks like we're over an hour. So we will. Adam, how far have you gotten in Red Dead?
I'm still at the beginning of Chapter 3 because I haven't been able to play a whole lot over the past week. I've been pretty busy, but I just got to the new camp outside of whatever town that is.
Outside of Rhodes? Okay. So you're way behind. All right. So we'll do our best to talk about it without spoiling anything for Adam. I maintain that it's still some wonky controls. Like, my horse just, like, runs into stuff.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is kind of a bummer. Like, I put it, like, 'cause you can, like, do it on the cinematic camera and, like, it'll just, like, run for you. I did that, and he just, like, ran headlong into a carriage.
Love it.
I was like, all right.
Love it.
I think what I hate most is, like, I think Rockstar has this problem with a lot of its games where even if something isn't your fault, it still, like, negatively impacts you. Like, so, like, I start getting shot at, and so I shoot back, and then I lose honor. Like, well, I didn't start this.
Yeah, it's like in
Right.
GTA.
It's like, I'm not just going to let the guy kill me.
Like in GTA when you get hit by a cop car and then they try to arrest you.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
And I was going through, I was just like riding through the woods or something. I got attacked by a cougar, and I dead-eyed cougar this cougar in the face, and this cougar did not give a fuck. Like, he just like, all right, you shot me in the face, whatever. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I got mauled and died twice. It's like,
Right.
goodness gracious, these stupid cougars. It's like I didn't realize cougars could take multiple bullets to the head.
oh, it's terrifying.
But
I beat the game.
I'm in the I guess we would call it post game. Like, it still says I'm at like 81% complete with the story, but
Like the epilogue.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for Adam.
yeah, but
Epilogue, exactly.
the epilogue, yeah. So the end of, like, I guess what we call the main story is beautiful. It is a beautiful ending, and that is all I will say, is that it's a beautiful ending.
It's an awesome game.
It is.
And
think
I'm not going to stop playing it just because I beat the campaign. It's that
Right.
good.
There's so much stuff to do. I gotta go catch all these legendary fish.
Oh, it's sensory overload,
Where
bro.
would you rank it? Would
I
you
know.
put it in your top
I've thought-
10 all time?
Yes.
I think so. Yep. I'm trying to decide if I like it more than GTA 5.
I do.
Yeah, I think my other big knock on it is that I think they overinflated the gameplay time by making you have to ride your horse everywhere with, like, no easy, like, fast travel situation. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, just get back to camp. Like, you have to, like, legit ride your horse back to camp. And I think that kind of inflates gameplay time, and it slows it down a lot.
For sure.
I kind of like it though. It makes it super realistic. I feel less like a video game and more like real life,
Yeah.
which I think is I can't think of another video game that does that as well as they do.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't think Rockstar ever really does fast travel. You can't fast travel in GTA 5 either, as far as I'm aware.
Although GTA 5 you can still use a car,
Yeah, I don't think
which
so.
I mean 3 or 4 times faster than a horse.
Cars go faster than horses. Yeah. And you don't have to conserve stamina on your horse or on your car.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, when I was trying to figure out the controls, I think I sent you the video, Kevin. I
Yeah.
like shot the blind guy by accident,
Yep.
in the first 20 minutes of playing the game.
You just blew him up.
And from then on, I never like could pay off my bounty, and I just spiraled out of control. So now I'm just like this menace that kills anyone I see. And when I finally made enough money, man, I paid it all off. I was like, sweet. I like get out of the, the mail store, whatever the hell it's called. And I get on my horse and I accidentally go too fast. You know how like you go through busy cities, busy streets. You just like crush the poor woman trying to cross the road.
Yeah.
And it's like boom. You're like, all right, she's dead, and now I'm wanted again. And then you shoot a bounty guy, and it's like an extra $50 every kill.
Yeah.
It's sometimes I've been drinking, and I get a little trigger happy, and everyone dies. But
I agree with you there. Like in Lemoyne, they just walk in front of you, and you're like, well, I'm in the street on a horse, and you're just gonna walk in front of a horse. Like you kind of deserve to be run over.
Oh. Kevin, I don't know if Adam, you're there yet, but have you been to Saint Denis?
I have, not on purpose, but I ended up there.
It is terrifying to ride a horse around that place, man. That's where I got my bounty.
Yep, it happened to me too. I actually spent like a night in jail because like I ran a dude over. I was trying to like help a guy who had like been attacked, so I was like riding to the doctor's office, and right when I get to the doctor's office, some dude like cuts a corner on me, so I run him over. And there's a cop right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this guy's going to die because now I have to surrender or shoot the cop. So,
I always surrender. You have to.
It's not worth it.
No, sir. But it's a great game. And I heard you guys talk about Assassin's Creed. I don't have that, but you think I should buy it?
Yeah, I think it's a good game. It's worth having. It's another full, solid, probably 65, 70 hours that you'd put into it.
And that's just the main story.
Just to get through like the main story.
Just wandering around the map, there's hundreds of hours of just random things to do.
Yeah, it's a bonkers size map.
Now, have you guys been buying every game that's come out since like the Origin?
Wait, say that again.
What do you mean since the Origin?
Like how there's like I don't know 20 games probably at this
Creed,
point. Have you bought every single one?
Oh, for Assassin's Creed.
No, I actually.
Yeah.
I was not a big Assassin's Creed fan. Like I played Assassin's Creed 2, and I thought it was not bad, and I played a little bit of 3, and then I didn't play anything after 3 until Origins.
Right.
And I played Origins, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was so much different from all the other games, and so that made me excited for Odyssey.
Let's see. I'm trying to get a list of all the Assassin's Creed. I haven't played all of them, but I think I've played all of the main title releases.
I mean, there was that stretch.
The best one for me was the.
Go ahead.
The Revolutionary War one. I don't know if you guys had that one, but that one changed the game. I bought them all the way up until then, but that one was the best. And then like the French Revolution one came out, and I bought it, and I was so mad how bad that game was. I just stopped.
All the main series releases I have bought and played. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, there was that stretch in between. I think like 4, which was 4 Black Flag. Like between 4 and
that was cool.
Origins. So between Black Flag and Ancient Egypt, there were a whole bunch of games that came out, and I think none of them were any good.
Well, Rogue, Unity, and Syndicate were the 3 main series releases, and Rogue and Unity are bad. Syndicate is
I haven't even heard of those.
So Rogue is...
They were that bad?
Yeah, so Rogue is set around... It fills the gaps, is what it says, between Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag. So it's set in between those two. And you start as an assassin who becomes disenfranchised, and you become a Templar.
Okay.
And then Unity is the one in the French Revolution, which is really bad.
So bad.
And Syndicate is set in Victorian-era London. And that's the first one where you can play as different characters. You have Jacob and Evie Fry, so twins.
Just hearing Victorian London just makes me yawn. That sounds so stupid.
Yeah, it was actually not bad because I thought the weapons were clever. So there were 3 different types of weapons that you could use. They had brass knuckles or knuckle dusters, whatever you want to call them. Like a kukuri, like dagger sword things, like a little curved sword, and then a cane sword. So
nice.
It was interesting. And each of those characters had a different way to play, unlike Odyssey, where the 2 main characters play the same. Alexios and Cassandra, they play identical. Jacob and Evie have different play styles. So
gotcha. Well, it's worth a
look.
look.
And then there are a bunch of
little
collections that came off of it, and I was like, well, I'm not going to play those.
Right. Now, are you guys Xbox guys or PS guys?
PlayStation.
PS4.
Ah, nerds.
Well, I got a PlayStation 4 solely because I wanted to play MLB The Show.
Yes, damn you. That's what I was gonna say. I should have bought PS4, but
The only
Xbox is-
reason, like, that was the deciding factor, was that Xbox didn't have a good baseball game.
How good is that game?
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of fun. It's,
You ever
it can
create a
be-
player?
Oh yeah.
How nasty is his knuckleball? Submarine, probably. That's what I do.
No, I
Is that
don't.
the-
I don't have a knuckleballer. Let's see. I mean, I make a bunch of different guys, just like to try different positions and play
Gotcha.
with different teams.
Yeah.
But like, I have like, I think he's a first baseman, just mashes, and then I have a closer. Closes for the Rocky. He throws a 4-seam, a 2-seam, and a slider. And he throws like 101.
Okay. A little Rivera action minus the cutter.
Yep. Oh yeah. So
Very cool, man.
it's fun. It's a fun game. Yeah. I'll probably get 19, even though I know there's not going to be any huge difference, but I'll do it anyway because I'm a sucker.
Yep. I buy every NHL, man. I know how it goes.
Yep. How is the new NHL? How is it?
That's okay. There's a lot of extra crap you don't use. Maybe it's because I'm old now and I'm not a Fortnite guy. I'm just like feeling old. There's just like a lot of like heads-up display stuff, and you can shut that all off. So once I did that, it was a lot better. I mean, the graphics are phenomenal.
All right. Hey, well, I think that finishes our rundown. So I think we can call it an episode. We're at like an hour and 15. So Jay, thanks so much for being on, man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Boys,
thanks
this has
so
been a
much.
lot of fun. Are you gonna have Bernie on soon?
Maybe. He's not. He's not really. He's not really in touch. He could talk sports, but he's not really in touch with movies and video games. And
He will dominate. the
after a
baseball
while, you
discussion,
can only
but
spend
after
so
that,
much
yeah.
time mocking Miami sports.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for him, but he did tweet at me when the Red Sox in October talking about something about them being bad, and I almost lost it. So if you ever calls in, let me know if I can call in and start bullying him over the airways.
We'll do, man. We'll do.
All right, boys.
Thanks so much, bud. All right,
Love it.
and that, yep. So that's the end of this episode. It looks like we're trying to do once a week, maybe. Kind of depends on what Adam's availability is. So, thanks for listening, everyone. Another good spot for a sponsor or for an advertisement. So hit us up. Adam, any shout outs?
Nope, none that I can think of.
No. All right. Oh, Jay. Hit our listeners, all 29 of them, with socials, or we can plug your blog if you want.
Yeah, Chameleon Cowboy spelt wrong. I might have been intoxicated when I made my website, and I already paid the money, so it's too late to turn back. It's ChameleonCowboy.com.
But without the second E in chameleon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's like Camelon.
Yeah, man, I've been talking to I don't know if you follow Barstool at all, but there's a guy, Large Barstool. He's been helping me read my blogs, editing them, telling me, what's good and bad. So I'm hoping to get a foot in the door there. That'd be the dream scenario.
Awesome.
Check it out.
And you can follow Jay on Twitter at like RichardsJS.
Yeah, I need
or
to
something
change
like
that. But yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for listening,
God bless
everyone.